right at our heart center, opening that place where it is so easy to know absolutely that God the good is all there is. Spirit unlimited, the mind of the maker, the pattern that connects, the love and intelligence that creates and sustains the universe. Whatever it is we call the allness that is all there is. And so it must follow that I am one with that. My mind is the mind of the maker. I am part of the pattern that connects. I am connected to everything and everyone else. And I know the same for each person here and each person within the sound of my voice. We are in a great dance together, all connected, all holy, absolutely sacred. The absence of any one of us would damage the wholeness. And so the wholeness is, because we're all here. And so together, I invite us to know the feeling of gratitude, to sit in our heart and have the flood of all that is a blessing for us move through our heart and across our vision behind our closed eyes. All that we love, our family, our pets, our colleagues, our work in the world, the place where we live, our environment, our ability to contribute, the miracles that happen in our lives, our understanding of the creative law, turkey or squash for those vegetarians, and just all of it, such a blessing, such a blessing, such a blessing. Pausing many times a day to breathe in, sit in our heart space, and be grateful. Many times a day, until it becomes our natural activity. Breathing in, sitting in our heart space, and being grateful. Multiplying our blessings by our awareness. This is what we do today, and later on today, and this evening, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Releasing this prayer into the law to make our gratitude even deeper. I declare it to be so, and so it is. Amen. Just to let you know, Jean Langell built a new stage for our camera. And so we don't it's at a different angle, which means nobody has to duck except maybe Brent. So thank you, Jean. Please welcome now our wonderful guest artists to entertain, fill us up, and bless us. I am grateful for Ross and Posey and Robin next. Okay. Okay.
With a high warbling note of a bird drawing near, it reminds me to listen, let go of my fears, to remember God is all there is. Oh yes, God is all there is. God has a sweet way of kissing my skin, with the soft wind caressing my face to a grin. It brings me to stillness, calls me with him, to remember God is all there is. Oh yes, God is all there is. All of nature conspires to remind me that God is all there is. budding rose. It tells me to open my heart to grow and to remember God is all there is. Oh yes, God is all there is. God is my compass, center my heart, lighting me up from within, lovingly, gently reminding me I'm part of a marvelous whole. God has a sweet way of kissing my eyes with the sight of a mother holding her child. It reminds me that only love is worthwhile, and I remember God is all there is. Oh yes, God is all there is. All of nature conspires to remind me that God is all there is.
Thank you. What a gift from our own community. I'm Reverend Sarah Hargrave, staff minister at this wonderful spiritual community. And we always like to start with gratitude. So today we want to thank the Development Fund team for launching their first workshop on conscious aging. So if that team would stand up, we would love to honor you. Thank you so much for your service. And also, it was a sellout. So, great job. How many people attended? Those who attended, raise your hand.
Woohoo!
Okay, great. Many smiles on that one. We always love to say goodbye and wave goodbye to our children. I didn't get to ask what the theme is today. We have lots of wonderful children. Do we have a special theme? Okay. That's true for any age.
Yeah.
As you may have noticed, we have a book sale today for the bookaholics among us. It's a very wonderful and tempting place. So it helps. It's to benefit the teens going to summer camp. So please shop extensively, and next week bring your books because we're having another one next week, so there'll be these leftovers and many more. So bring yours and take some home with you. As you notice, you have a Thanksgiving card when you came in. This is a card for you to fill out, to say what you want to claim as your things to be thankful for next Thanksgiving. So this is setting your intention for this next year, and you fill it out, and we will turn it back in, and we will send it back to you next year at this time with your address, so we know where to send it. We're having a wonderful winter solstice and a Christmas Eve service. The solstice is December 21st here, and the Christmas Eve is the 24th, of course. So come early to the solstice because it really fills up quickly. We pack this place with many people who are in that celebration. And the Christmas Eve one is going to be at the fireplace room up at the Learning Center. I think that's my announcements. So we are glad to have Reverend Karyl, as always, with her message and some announcements.
So I would like to ask Tinman to come up here. Tinman Walker. So a while back, Tinman had a fabulous idea that a great fundraiser for us, as well as a marketing tool for us, would be to create a bag with our logo. So Tinman kept on us. How many of you did he mention this idea to? Yeah, okay, see, he kept talking to people until Rick, stand up. Rick said, I will look through and get some ideas about what it costs, how to make it, blah, blah, blah. And it's complex. I mean, we had to pick the bag. We had to the logo had to be, sized. Yeah, everything. And so it's a beautiful, sturdy bag, and it costs $20, and you can buy them for all of your people. And instead of stockings this year, you can fill the bag and put them on the hearth.
And you also can use it when you're grocery shopping.
At grocery shopping.
Because I know this Safeway and Strawberry, since Strawberry is undedicated city, they'll charge you if you use a bag.
Yeah, and now you can have your own bag and not be charged.
Yeah.
And so here's the deal.
And this will also, if you're sitting in line and you're trying to check out, and the person behind you will say, I see that says Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Thank you. So this is our new marketing director here. And the timing in, bringing something to market is very important. So do you notice that our bags appear on the same day as the book sale? You can fill this up with books. Thank you, Tinman. So great. Now, Sarah, you took my announcements. So I have another one. Okay. Okay. A couple things. Our convention for the Centers for Spiritual Living is coming up in Vancouver, and the dates are in February. I think Tinman should have designed this flyer because I have to search for the dates. February 17th through the 22nd. All are welcome. And these flyers are right there on the education table. And let me just say, a fabulous, fabulous thing about this. Not only do we come together as one organization after we have been two for 57 years or something like that, but one of the keynote speakers is Peter Canova. Remember Peter Canova, who is here, and he wrote Pope Annalisa, and he has the mind that holds all of church history in his mind at the same time. He is going to be one of the speakers, and I think we had something to do with that, getting him to the convention. So, also, Gail, would you stand up, please? Gail, as I said last week, is our president-elect. And she's been working as our vice president for a long time. And she is ready to take any of your pledge cards. There are a few of you, I know who you are, that still have your pledge cards and you haven't turned them in. And so Gail is happy to take the pledge cards in her hand, and we will add them to the total, okay? Welcome to everybody who is here today for the first time, and welcome to people who are back after a long time. It's fabulous to see your sweet faces. And those that I see every day, every Sunday, I think about you all during the week. So I'm happy to be here with you today. So we are coming down the home stretch of Tools for Transformation, which is our theme for the year. Every single Sunday we have had a word that suggests transformation, change at a deep level in some way. And they're all on that tree there, and along with some affirmations and action steps. And it's a wonderful thing for you to do this work along with us. And today is a wonderful word. It's miracle. And the miracle word was in our first song that we sang, because we're all miracles. But now a miracle really does get our attention when it shows up in our life, right? It's like, bam, something that is that drops in, that is so unusual and so fabulous that it really gets our attention and we want more. So on the altar today are wonderful pictures, photos that denote miracles. And there's just little messages on each one of them that directly relate to what I'm going to talk about today. But each of these photos is so precious that I want you all to sort of come up to the altar after the service, because it's inspiring. So I'm defining a miracle as something that does not ordinarily occur in our universe. And how many of you have had one of those? Oh, great, good. So where do I show you the forks? Oh, that's a little bit later. Okay, so Angela's Arian is the book that we're moving through this year. And this is what she says about miracles in her November chapter called Grateful Seeing. That's the chapter heading. One definition of a miracle is a change in perspective. Therefore, our focus on grateful seeing in November can make it a month of miracles. Looking for the bounty and good in our lives creates a disposition for gratitude and allows us to see that some of the challenges we face may be blessings in disguise. So when I read that, I have to say, it sounded like sort of miracle light to me. You know, it's suggesting that I see what is wonderful and beautiful in my life as a miracle. And so that's a wonderful consciousness to see, to notice what is wonderful and beautiful in your life, and it will make you a lot happier. But when I go for a miracle, I want to experience something that is so far out of my awareness of possibilities that it shocks me. That I go, oh my God, this is possible, and therefore a whole lot else must be possible. So this is where I show you the forks and the spoon. So this is I'm going to put these on the altar so you can see these. You know, when you poke these tines, they're pretty firm. And this spoon has been wound around and bent over. And we did this in a workshop of fork bending and spoon bending. And it may be sort of a useless miracle because it ruins your silverware. But in the normal universe that I live in, metal doesn't behave that way. It doesn't go all buttery in my hands when I'm trying to eat dinner. It remains firm. And so a big shift had to happen in my awareness in order for me to very easily bend and wind those pieces of silverware so that they are never, ever, ever going to be the same again. So this is a symbol for me personally, of something so out of the ordinary that it seems like I have literally slipped into another universe with different rules. And what is really happy about this universe is that the rules are in my favor. Now, wouldn't that be great for us to be able to slip into another universe and have all of the rules be in our favor and have things show up that are out of the ordinary for where we used to live? So, in the bookstore, not the bookstore today because the bookstore is closed for this Sunday because of our used book sale, but I put together a packet of the Celtic Cross Prayer Kit, and in it is a chapter about creating miracles. And so I'd like to read this to you because I love it. Consider the miracle that you would like to experience. Imagine that this way of being that you desire so much is very normal in a reality that could be right next to your own. Reach into that alternate realm with your heart and mind and imagine moving to that reality or drawing that reality into you. Imagine that reality in as much substantiality as the one that you live in. And then I talk about how to actually call forth a miracle, which is with specificity and yet not telling the universe how to do it. It's like, this is what I want, but I'm not telling you how to do it. And then I have an example of a miracle that actually happened right here in this space. And so I'm going to read this to you because I think it's pretty fabulous. And it starts out with the story of my mom that many of you know and love. And the 4th anniversary of her passing is coming up in just a few days. I was with my mother for 3 days as she finished up her work on this plane of existence before she moved on in the transition that we call death. During one of the moments when we could talk a bit, I told her that it was okay for her to leave. She said, "Yes, I'll go and get us some help." Since my mother was a revered spiritual teacher, I imagined that the us she was referring to was all of us. I spoke about this offer from my mother right here the very next Sunday after her transition in my spiritual community, which was her spiritual community as well. It so happened that one of her former students who heard of my mother's promise was going to a formal tea party with her twin daughters after the Sunday service. The 3 of them were dressed up and not prepared for inclement weather. It began to rain very hard as the Sunday service progressed. The mother of the twins took my mother up on her promise and said, "Okay, Doris, I need some help to stay dry." Notice the clarity and the non-specificity of this request. Staying dry could mean the rain would stop, or it could refer to any number of other specific conditions that could remedy the situation. The manifestation of such help certainly seemed like a would-be miracle to my friend, the mother of the twins, given the strength of the storm and the daintiness of the tea party clothing. My friend used the ladies' room before venturing out in the rain with her girls. There, in the seat cover holder in the stall of the bathroom, was an umbrella. This was not your normal place for an umbrella, but it was the perfect reality in which the miracle was supplied. So I want you to think, this absolutely happened. She went into the toilet stall, and you think about how the umbrella got there. This is not a place where you would stick an umbrella if you were the person before her in that potty stall. I've never talked about potty stalls in a talk before, ever. So somehow a nicely wrapped up dry umbrella was stuck in that seat cover holder, and that was exactly what she needed. Somehow there was an alternate reality in the ladies' room. So that's how miracles work. So in the Bible, in the New Testament, Jesus is said to have said, "In my Father's house are many mansions." That means there's many places to live. There's many environments that are available to us. In fact, all of the possible environments are available to us because all of everything is given all the time. And in fact, each one of us has a different mansion that we're living in. Each one of us has a different living place. Now, it looks like we all live in the same town, or at least we come to church in Corte Madera. It looks like we're all here in the same mansion. No. We are in different universes based on our beliefs about how life works and how we matter or not in life. Every single one of us lives in a different universe. And so I am going to read to you two different universes, both from Ernest Holmes, our founder. And these are two extreme choices that you can make, but you can see how you might live closer to one of these or another and realize that somebody else in this room lives closer to the other one. Okay? So this first one is from the Beverly Hills Lectures. And this is from a chapter called Spiritual Therapeutics. It's about using your mind in healing. And Ernest Holmes writes, "There is no fear, no condemnation, no judgment. There is no hell. There isn't any purgatory. When I am treating an Orthodox person, I ask him about his beliefs. You don't have to be so much concerned about healing the disease. That's an effect of the mind. It's the mind you're healing. Maybe a man believes in purgatory and the devils and Satan and all that nonsense that has been shoved down people's imagination, crowded into their emotional throats. If so, he will always be sick, unhappy, insecure, always have a sense of guilt, anxiety, always prone to it." So that's one universe, a universe where Satan and the devils are real and temptation, and there's this war going on between good and evil, and you're in the middle of it, and it's not pretty. Some people live there. This is another one. This is from the textbook, and it's one of the meditations in the back. The circle of love is complete. It comprehends all, includes all, and binds all together with cords of everlasting unity. I cannot depart from its presence, nor wander from its care. My love is complete within me. The love of God binds me to itself and will not let me go. I shall make a home for you, oh my wonderful love, and we shall journey through life hand in hand. I shall sit in your presence and learn the wondrous things you will tell me, for you are God. Now, that's a universe where some people dwell most of the time, and every place else in between. So, if something seems so out of the ordinary that you desire, so wonderful for your regular life, we reach into another way to live to receive our miracle because all is already given. And we do this with our mind. We tiptoe from the universe of devils and Satan into the faith and certainty and comfort of walking hand in hand with God. And a lot of the time we only use first person because we know that language is it's very rich. And we can talk about being one with God, or we can talk about walking hand in hand with God. I like both myself. And so, to receive, so up here, the PowerPoint, receiving miracles. A key is that word receiving, because we must be willing and open to receive, not hopeless or resigned, or that, okay, God, prove it to me. Now that's worked with some of the people you read about, that works with, it's a miracle in the bathroom. Yeah. The fountain of youth in the bathroom. Mary, don't leave yet. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that prove it to me stance with God, I think it worked with some people, but it's not as happy as just saying, I am willing, I am open to receive. So the first thing that you need to do is be clear about your desire. What it is do you want? And actually, every single time that you go to a practitioner and say, I want a prayer, the practitioner will say something like that. What do you want? Because that's where creation starts, is with your desire. It's good to have those life-giving desires, and it's good to have them fulfilled. You were not put here in life to be frustrated. There is a mechanism for fulfillment, and that is what we are about, revealing the mechanism of fulfillment. And so the picture on the altar here that is about being clear about your desires is the graduation. The graduation, this girl looks like she's experiencing a miracle, but that was her desire, and she put a lot of effort into it, and a lot of the universe supported her in getting that, mortarboard there. So you start with what it is you want, and the practitioners help you formulate that. And rather than say something like, I need a job, because doesn't that kind of reek of, I don't have it, and I need it, I really, really need it. Instead, they will help you to formulate the desire something like, I long to give my gifts. I long to be engaged with life. I long to be useful and vibrant. And for that, you just say that, and the universe goes, here you go, baby. Here you go. Here's a path. Here's an opportunity. And so when you fill out your Thanksgiving cards, make sure that it is as empowered and positive and non-specific as possible. Great, big dreams. And then you write that, I am thankful for being useful in life. I am thankful for absolute overflowing love in every aspect of my life. I'm thankful for vibrancy in my physical self. Something like that. And then make sure that you do write your name and address on it, because it'll be mailed to you. So you can put that in, you can put it up here, you can put it in the offering basket, you can put it on the altar. We'll get it, okay? So be sure to do that, because it's a lovely... How many of you received your Thanksgiving cards this year and you go, oh my gosh! So a lot of people had it. Okay, great. So I've got an out for you. If you can't be clear, at least, isn't that cute the way that happens? At least have faith that all your needs are met. Now, if I were rewriting this, I wouldn't use that word need. I would say something like, make sure that you have faith that all your desires are made manifest, or that all that you require to give your gifts is given to you. So the picture here that shows about that all that we require is made known to us is this sweet picture of the boy with Babe Ruth, the Babe Ruth cutout. There is a desire there. And that is going to be fulfilled in some wonderful way. So what you require is already available. It's all here. And what happens when you say, I am reaching into the universe where all of what I require is made manifest, you are literally changing into the person that has that reality as home. Okay? It's not that you physically go anywhere. It's not that there's a spell that's cast. It's that you literally become the person that steps into the reality where all of those gifts are available, ready, and the path is clear, it's well lit, and you walk that path holding out your hand and having it filled with the satisfaction of the desires of your life made manifest. And in the meantime, you have faith. Every single class that we offer, and we're going to have our winter classes up for you next week to sign up for, or, yeah, next week. We talk about growing faith. Now, faith, of course, is the evidence of things unseen. It's like you know it, you don't see it yet, but you know it, and that's as good as seeing it. That's what faith is. You've got the faith, and that's absolutely as good as seeing that. And when you have faith that what you require to be your highest and greatest self is coming to you, and coming to you like now, then you walk into that mansion. That's your mansion. And it's there waiting for you. And so it's the mansion where we trade our fears for that calm joy. And where we know that it'll all turn out fine in the end, and if it isn't turned out fine, it isn't the end. Okay? So in the class that I'm teaching right now, the class called Your Life Only Better, we talked about the sphere of availability. And the sphere of availability means that you have a universe around you. You're in the universe, you're in that mansion, and you want something that is outside of that bubble. It doesn't work so well for you to try to reach your hand out of the bubble and grab it. What you do is you enlarge your bubble to include the manifestation of your desire, and thereby you are in a new mansion, a new universe. Okay, is this making sense to you? Okay, oh good. Now, if you can't have the faith, there's one other thing. At least you can do this. And that is be grateful for your miracle. Now, all of us have, oh, it's, okay. Cece's out of practice. Oh, enlarge the miracle. Okay, enlarge the miracle. That's great. Okay, so here. So here's the deal about being grateful for your miracle. When a good surprise pops into your life, you weigh it heavy. You say, there's one. There's one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I had a nice surprise already today. Ron's here. Ron hasn't been, it's been decades since Ron's been here. He's been to Cherkasy since I've seen him. So that's a nice surprise. So, gosh, Ron's a miracle in my life. So that's the kind of thing, when you are surprised by something good, you say, thank you. Another one happened for me in the Conscious Aging workshop yesterday. Barbara Cox did a wonderful process where we all faced the north and we had a conversation with our ancestors. And then we faced south and we had a conversation with our progeny and the generations to come. And when I was facing south, all of a sudden, the ancestors, which were a little away from me as I faced the north, as I faced the south and talked to my children and my children's children and their children and their children, all of my ancestors were right around me. And it was very easy for me to say us to my kids and their kids and their kids, which made me feel kind of close to the ancestors, which made me feel that they're holding their arms out for me and I am moving towards them And I have no thought that I am going to join them anytime soon. But the feeling of going closer to my ancestors and having them reach out for me and me reach out for them and being enfolded as I grow older and older, I have the feeling that the transition of death is not a big shift. It's like a rolling into my loving ancestors, which is fabulous as it sits in my heart. It is a fabulous feeling. And I was pretty okay with death anyway. But now I'm like so comfortable and so like, you know, that's where I'm going. This is where I came from. And when those babies come in, that's where they're going. Those babies there are the future ancestors when they have their time on earth. We all have our time on earth, and we're all going to be enveloped by the ancestors. And that's my miracle. And I love the way it sits in my heart. And if it serves you, you can have it too. So then, after I made this whole talk, I went back to Angelus Arian, and I thought, well, maybe what she said is not miracle light after all. Maybe the miracle is a change in perspective, a shift. And actually, that's what we do in every single spiritual mind treatment. We call for a shift in consciousness. And the creative law is willing to give you any shift. So you can ask for a little bitty shift that makes your life a little bit less painful. Or you can ask for a whole system shift and step into a new mansion where miracles are the norm. And then, of course, when we're in that mansion, there are even more wonderful things that are unusual for that home. And we get to talk about trading up, you people that are in real estate. It is to up and up and up. One mansion, the next, and the next, moving from glory to glory. So breathe that in, and then we'll do the inner work. And so, my beloveds, one more breath and sitting in our heart and being grateful. So let's just take a step with me into the mansion of peace and plenty for all, leaving behind the lessons that we have learned about conflict and lack, and saying there are bigger and more loving lessons for me to embrace in the universe of peace and plenty. Step with me into the universe where love is the default position. If we don't know what to do, if we don't know what step to take, if we don't know what decision to make, we know that love is the universal healer and restorer of sanity. And that's where we go. In this mansion, we look for commonalities and not differences. In this mansion, we are free to open to life beyond our wildest imagination. And it is given to us by a universal love and intelligence that always says yes. And we join with our philosopher poet that we're all one with at some level anyway, Franz Kafka, who said, "Simply wait, be quiet, still, and solitary. the world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet. Step with me into a world of one sweet surprise after another. And what a beautiful time to do that as we enter into this week of Thanksgiving. So full of blessings. Every thought of gratitude is a stepping stone up to the door of our new mansion. Blessed be.
On the day I was born, said my father, said he, I've an elegant legacy waiting for ye. 'Tis a rhyme for your lips and a song for your heart. So sing it whenever the world falls apart. Look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look to the rainbow, follow your heart as you follow your dream. 'Twas a sumptuous gift to bequeath to a child. Oh, the lure of that song kept my feet running wild. For you never grow old and you never stand still, with whippoorwill singing beyond the next hill. Look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look to the rainbow, follow your heart as you follow your dream. So I bundled me heart and I roamed the world free, to the east with the lark, to the west with the sea. And I searched all the earth and I scanned all the skies, and found out at last it was always inside. Look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look to the rainbow, follow your heart as you follow your dream. Follow, yes, follow your heart as you follow your dream.
So now is the time for accepting our tithes and offerings. And remember, those people who have an automatic deduction as their committed pledge, they put that little card in that says, I've pledged. So if you would like that wonderful opportunity to know that you are supporting this community, whether you're here or not, that's a great way to do that. And you can talk to Gail about that. She can help you set that up as well. So if you would take your gift in your hands and place it next to your heart, and realize that this supply that we call money is a part of many miracles. And as you send off this gift that is symbolic of the work and the contribution that you have made to the world, you give part of that is given back to you, to us, how fabulous, given to each other in this community. That the money that comes from your heart, may it be that miracles occur because of it. And just let's say that. May miracles occur because of my contribution.
May miracles occur because of my contribution.
Blessed be. And so, would the ushers please receive these miracle gifts?
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source.
God is my soul.
God is my power.
God is my power.
God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. I'm just checking. Thank you. Thank you. I'm checking to see that I've got addresses on all these. And somebody just didn't get so excited that they put one in. It'll happen anyway, but you just won't get it back. So with me now, please bless this offering as it moves through this community and as it pays for all of the things that take money that help to create the community that we are together. And then let's just give thanks for all of the things that money doesn't buy that creates this community together. The love and the friendship and the transformation of lives into a happier and happier place to live. A new mansion. Blessed be. Okay, why don't we take a moment and wave to the audience. We wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, all of you in TV land. Or internet land, that shows my age, doesn't it? So, have fun shopping. Let's sell out of the bags, okay? And then we can order some more. And thank you once again to Tinman. And so, Reverend Sarah is going to pray us out. Practitioners, come forward. These are the people that ask you today, what do you want? And then help you shift your consciousness in order to receive it.
These practitioners are licensed professionals that are normally paid for their services, but they volunteer every Sunday for your blessing and to support you. So if you have a need, see them afterwards. Also, we have a heart-to-heart team, and they have told us there are 5 members that we want to hold in prayer. So Malini Shoyton for vibrant health, courage, connection, and divine guidance. Hillary Kane for continued freedom and wisdom on her healing journey. Diana Smith as she heals from her injuries, which we know will be a complete resolution of all issues. And Christine and Jerry, who are traveling all over the world. So we wish them joy on their journey. So, join me in prayer, and I speak my word in first person for myself and for all of those whose names have been spoken and all of you who choose to accept it for yourselves. There is so very much to be grateful for. Life itself, the awareness that spirit is truly all there is, and that it is a power for good that each of us uses. So I give thanks right now, knowing that there is clarity for me and for all of you in all areas of life, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, And that clarity already exists in the mind of God. The solution is already complete in the mind of God, unfolding perfectly. And knowing that there is also wisdom and faith, an understanding of that truth, and a falling into, a relaxing into that faith and awareness that we are all supported in a healing pool of Spirit's love and guidance and support. So knowing I open my heart to the infinite love that is already there, I open my mind to the infinite intelligence that is guiding and directing, and I open my body to the healing power that is always harmonizing and healing all that needs to be harmonized and healed for greater good. So in that awareness, we simply say, thank you, and simply wait for wonderful reports and delightful surprises. And so it is. Amen.
So I would invite all of you to stand for our affirmation and closing song. So right up here. And I want you to say this with conviction. I am open to miracles beyond my conscious ability to accept. My good overflows the container of my life, and I am constantly expanding to be able to experience it all. I know it is good to accept our good. Blessed be.